Next, we will hear from Representative Dennis Kucinich. He was elected to the City Council in Cleveland at 23 years old, then was elected mayor at 31, the youngest person ever elected to lead a major city. He has been in Congress since 1997. He's been a tireless advocate for worker rights, civil rights, and human rights. Please welcome Dennis Kucinich. I'll now give his opening statement.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters of Indian country. I'm Congressman Dennis Kucinich, and I'm here to talk to you about a vision of an America that can be, a vision which arises from the truth of our Native Americans and their long contributions to what became the United States of America. Before I came onto the stage, I looked out to the mountains and saw in the mist what looked like a buffalo's head. And I could imagine what our Native brothers and sisters looked at years ago in seeing the sacred buffalo across a fruited plain, and I could imagine what it would be like for the elders to gather at night in a circle around a campfire under the stars, exchanging timeless wisdom that connected Native peoples to the ages, wisdom that held the truths of chiefs like Seattle, who said, the earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth. That ageless tribal wisdom calls out to America today to help us reconcile with nature, with Mother Earth and Father Sky, to help us reach deeply into our history and reconcile with our Native brothers and sisters who we have so separated ourselves from, who we have so separated our hearts from, who we have forgotten in the mists of history. But we need a president who can remind the American people of the beauty of Native culture, of the importance of Native spirituality to help us reconnect with nature and the world, of how essential it is for America to regain its integrity by telling the truth about the exploitation of Native peoples, about the theft of their lands, about the destruction of their peoples. How important it is to have a president who understands that the aspirations of Native peoples are waiting to break forward like a new crop, to be recognized by all the American peoples. But we must tell the truth about history. I've been to tribal country. I've been on so many Native lands and reservations. I've seen the suffering that goes on. I've seen the health problems that even children have. I've seen broken down shanties they call home. And I ask myself, how have we come to this? And it is because we have neglected to restore truth to history. And so as President of the United States, I intend to help our nation repair the breach that has been created through 500 years and more of exploitation. I intend to see treaties restored. I intend to see the land restored. I intend to see the environmental problems addressed, the economic challenges addressed, to bring health care for all, a not-for-profit system, education for all, jobs for all, and to bring peace. Because we have so many things we must deal with here at home. We have no right to be exploiting other peoples in other countries, and yet it is that same arrogance that caused us to exploit native peoples, that led us to the disgrace of slavery, that led us hundreds of years later into a war against the people of Vietnam, that leads us today to war against the people of Iraq. Oh, we have so much healing to do, and we need a president who understands that, who's ready to heal this nation, bring a healing hand, and to work with our native brothers and sisters to say, we can restore the dream, we can restore the vision. Let us gather as leaders around the campfire and talk how we will do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll jump right into questions. Our first question comes from Governor Victor Montoya of the Pueblo of Sandia.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you here in Indian country. Again, as you know, people have, well, Native Americans have been left out behind on much of other stuff, education, welfare, and whatnot. Now, what I'm looking at is for you to, as president, say, how would you do in the federal system of appointments of qualified Native Americans to the federal benches?
To the federal
Bench.
To judiciary.
In the judicial system.
Everywhere there is a systematic discrimination in our government, we must move to change it. And I think that when we're talking about the judiciary, our judiciary must reflect a knowledge and compassion of the concerns of Native people. So of course, I would look for your help in being able to recommend for appointment to the federal judiciary Native peoples who would have the opportunity to take the knowledge that they've learned, that tribal knowledge, that knowledge of the elders, and bring it to the federal bench. I think it's so important. But I want to go one step further. I would ask for your help in bringing to the cabinet someone who would be Secretary of the Interior, who would come from our Native brothers and sisters from that community, since that is the federal department that has so much jurisdiction over tribal lands. So yes, we must bring Native peoples in. And I thank you for raising that point.
Thank you.